Hi everyone, welcome to this week's question and answer video that I do every single Monday. Welcome new viewers. If you think that I'm benefiting you or could benefit other people, I'd really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to my channel, comment down below, ask questions, say hi, tell us where you're from. Things like this really support what I'm doing by just pushing a few buttons. And hopefully you guys can help me. We can all do this together and help this information spread as far as possible to help people that need it, to maybe just the information they need to do something to help their lives or to push them in the direction to get the help that they need. Thank you very much for all your guys' support. So, I do this every single Monday. I'm answering questions from last Monday's video. Any questions you guys have, please go down below, ask me down there in the comment section, ask me anything you want, and I will answer it in next week's video. I like to recommend something every single week that helps you guys, hopefully, with your journey in healing from trauma, whether it's better sleep or anxiety, depression, relationships, things like this. This week, I found a website called Delta Discovery Center, and it has an article in here, 15 trauma therapy techniques to implement to help you heal from trauma. Now, I've talked about all of them before, but I think it just helps you guys, I hope, kind of go over some of these things that you guys need to do to help you heal. That's why we're all here. That's why all you guys are asking me questions. You want to know how to feel better and live better, happier, successful, functional lives. So here is just somebody else saying it. I hope it helps. It says, time heals all wounds. It can, but that's such a vague statement. I know many people have gone through similar experiences that maybe you've had, and these kinds of childhood trauma or trauma in relationships that 30, 40 years later, it's the first thing they talk about. I've known people, I knew a person once whose house burned down. Horrible, traumatic experience. She lost everything. I think they lost their pet. No one died, no one was hurt, but just that trauma from losing everything, it's all she talked about for 20 years. Literally. I mean, she'd meet someone and tell my house burnt down 20 years ago. It's like, Jesus. Time didn't help. It didn't heal. There are things we need to do, especially with this emotional trauma, okay? Because what happens is if we don't learn, we'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Or we may not have any relationships at all. I don't know which one's worse. You know? That's a real blanket statement. I don't think it's that accurate. Below is a list of trauma therapy techniques to implement to help you heal from trauma. First one, get closure. Very, very common. We don't get closure. We don't even want to face what happened to us. We don't want to talk about it. In these relationships, don't end with any kind of maturity or responsibility. I mean, we don't say, sorry, it's not working. It's just because I don't love you anymore, and I just realized this isn't going to work, and take care, good luck. I mean, no. It's always discarded, left for somebody else, didn't tell you why, blocked you. Just, nothing, didn't even tell you anything, maybe. We need closure, and if we can't get it from our abuser, we can get it ourselves, and we can talk about it and really understand it and tell ourselves the truth, because closure is truth, and we need to know what the truth is, what really, really happened, and we need somebody else to help us do that. But great way to get some kind of closure is write a letter to the person. Tell them everything you want to say, okay? And you don't even have to send it. You're giving ourselves closure, okay? Real important. Number 2, recognize that there is nothing wrong with you. Kind of a weird statement too, right? There's something wrong with everybody. There was stuff wrong with you before you dated this person, but I think what's important to know is that it's not your fault. Anytime someone mistreats you, it's not your fault. And that's the most common excuse people give that hurt you. It's your fault. You made me do it. You made me feel this way. You kept doing this. No. You are responsible for how you treat people, period. I don't give a crap what anybody did to you. Reactionary abuse, you can hit me. I hit you back. And then I hit you again, I beat you up. Well, couldn't I have left after the 10th time you hit me? Couldn't I just not see you anymore? At what point, is it all their fault? What if we just sit there and fight for 20 years? It's all that person's fault. Well, okay. But it's not your fault for anything they did to you. And it doesn't matter what you did to them. It doesn't matter that you let them back in. It doesn't matter. You're responsible for what you did, not what they did. Really, really important to know, because these relationships just cause massive guilt, massive shame. Massive. And that's something we need to really, really heal from. Number 3, link positive and negative material. Let's see what they mean by that. A person who underwent a traumatic event in his or her life has a high tendency to develop negative feelings as a result of that trauma. And this is all natural, says Jed Diamond in a Good Therapy article. He cited neuropsychologist Rick Hansen, who said that this is because our brain was wired in such a way. Our brain was primed to learn quickly from bad experiences, but not so much from the good ones, he says. And, you know, what's depression, right? Everybody sucks. My life sucks. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? So we don't remember the good things. What's interesting is some of you guys do. Some of you guys, when I first have clients and I first start talking to them after the relationship just ended, and all they can tell me is the good things that the other person did. I mean, still in total denial and still enabling mode, and you know, but depression will focus on the negative. And so, you know, we have to have daily positive affirmations really help. But let's keep going here. According to Diamond, this is the main reason why the negative traumatic memories usually stick to our brains while the positive memories seem to slip away. Our traumatic therapy technique that he suggests is to infuse our negative consciousness with the positive. He suggests Hansen's strategy of using the image of a garden. We image that the beauty of the flowers we are planting and become aware of the weeds and gently pull them out so there is room for growth. Hansen further explains this strategy. Whenever you want, let go of all negative material and rest only in the positive. Then to continue uprooting the negative material a few times over the next hour, be aware of only neutral or positive things that may have been associated with the negative. We can all take, you know, you can take what you want out of that. I think that, you know, be careful not living in denial. Be careful not just shoving these bad experiences down and not fully expressing the emotions that come from this and talking about it. Because, you know, this is starting to sound like today's attitude a lot with kind of therapy, and that's, you know, just don't talk about what happened or the past, just think about now. And, you know, that's great, but, you know, if I have this feeling about my past and my emotions are still open, I haven't expressed them or shared them, they're going to stay open like that forever. So I think what's really important to understand is you had such a negative experience in some way, somehow, turn that into positive, because you can. And that's really what we are, who we are. We aren't just a product of our experiences. You know, that means that I can just sit there and just make somebody who they are. No, it's more what we do with it and how we feel about it later. Okay. Reclaim control is number 4. You know, think of, I hate to use this example, it's pretty extreme, but child sex abuse. People that sexually abuse children, almost all of them have been sexually abused, and their control has been taken from them by an adult. And they feel out of control. They may not be totally conscious or aware of this, but they'll feel totally out of control, and they'll end up abusing another child, saying, I finally got my control back. They think that's the only way to do it. It's common for a traumatic childhood to develop feelings of helplessness. And the sad thing is that they will carry on through adulthood. The worst thing that could happen is that it will affect the whole life of that person, since the choices will be based on their pain. When this happens, they will forever become a victim of that trauma. And man, do we live in a society today of victims and victimizers, right? So black and white. So black and white. And who wants to be a victimizer? So I guess we're all victims. That's choice. That's choice. It's choice afterwards, what we want to do. If someone victimizes us and that experience is ended, it's our choice to remain a victim or not. Okay? Get counseling. Number 5. Do I recommend that enough? I think so. Get help. Talk therapy is not just number 1. It's mandatory. It's needed. And without it, you're not getting the help that you need. And, you know, how cool is it that no matter how bad you feel, guys, right now, because you've been traumatized and abused, no matter how bad, just think that it can all be fixed and feel so much better by just talking to someone. And I hope, because I do understand the not wanting to get help or not ready and scared, and I understand these things, and I've felt similar myself, but I hope it feels better at least to know that it can all be fixed and you can all be better by talking. That's it. Not a shot, not drugs, not surgery. You don't have to lose an arm or a leg or a finger. Just talk. Pretty cool. Number 6, don't isolate. Absolute worst thing you can do, and it's the number one thing your brain wants you to do. I understand there's a time. I hope that time is hours, days, not weeks, months, or years. Very, very common thing for your brain to do. Just stay safe. Don't even try. Number 7, take care of your health. First thing I started doing before I even understood what was going on. I didn't know anything, man. This was years ago when I was really at the peak of my cptsd, over 10 years ago. And I couldn't get help. The first time I had a relationship, God, it was over 20 years ago, and there was nobody out there. There's no YouTube channels. There's no YouTube. There was no YouTube. I couldn't find help. I go to counseling and they cry. I go to counseling, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. Yeah. Number 8, learn self-regulation. So important. So important. I have a mantra I kind of adopted a while ago, and that's people can't change me. That's really, really important. And it doesn't mean that I'm a cold-hearted son of a bitch that doesn't react to people. I try not to, and I allow myself, it's okay if I do. But if somebody wants to come along and hurt me and stuff like this, that's their pain. I'm not going to take it, and I'm not going to let them change me, at least. Meaning I'm going to try not to feel bad about it, and I'm going to stay true to who I am, and I'm going to still honor that I value respect and integrity and honesty, and I'm going to treat people that way no matter what. You will not change me. Very, very important. Number 9, try to find some deeper meaning in what happened to you. This can be the worst experience in your life, sure. But it can also born the most amazing thing that ever happened to you. Okay? I promise. I don't think about my traumas anymore, and I don't feel bad about them anymore. Believe it or not, after healing and talking about it so much, I start kind of forgetting a lot of it. I don't think about it anymore. I mean, I can pull out of my memory a lot of stuff. Some stuff I can't, but it doesn't define me. It's just a part of my story. A chapter. And that chapter ended well. Number 10, become aware of your emotional triggers and learn to cope with them creatively. Beautiful. Opening up your creative mind is what allows you to heal. Be creative. It really does. It really does. Being creative, creating something out of nothing, beauty, something that's functioning, something for someone else, totally expressing yourself, creating a whole new environment around you with color. Beautiful sounds, materials, people. Be creative. It allows your brain to begin to heal and also know who you are and understand. I mean, I suffer from cptsd for decades, and I know I'm healed. I know I'm healed, and I'll feel great for a year or two, and somebody might come along and just traumatize the crap out of you. And boom, you're like, oh my God, there's my PTSD again, you know? And it doesn't mean you've gone backwards. It doesn't mean that you have it again. It's just you had a stress disorder. And so there could be enough stress in your life that triggers that again. Okay? And learn what those are and know what's going on and understand that, hey, I have a stress disorder. I had a stress disorder, so I can't take this stuff and I'm not going to be around it anymore, because really that's how we develop stress disorders. Prolonged exposure to this stress. Okay? Number 11, I think. Yep. Learn the true meaning of acceptance and letting go. The opposite of acceptance is judgment. The opposite of letting go is letting it define who we are. Number 12, connect with nature. Amazing. I didn't know that. But when I was healing from my trauma, I knew to be healthy before I even knew anything that was going on. Just at least, man, that's just something I can do, right? I can make sure I get better sleep. I can stop addictions. I can eat better and get some exercise. Jeez. Something you're definitely in control of, and something that you can choose to do every single day, okay? And I really just dove into nature. I grew up as a kid. For a little part, I had some woods behind my house. Did a lot of activities from hiking, camping, and river rafting, stuff like this. But my trauma really made me just connect with nature. Gosh, I've spent time out in the woods by myself completely. No trails, no people, no nothing. It's incredible. It was just me and nature. I've done it for days at a time. It's beautiful. It really grounds you. It helps you get a more clear, conscious awareness, perspective on the world and your environment and who you are. It's beautiful. If I could have a type of treatment center for people, which I dream about, maybe I will someday, but a definite part of that program would be outdoors and learning self-sufficiency, things like that. Number 13, clean up your diet. I mean, you really are what you put into your body, aren't you? Limit your media exposure. Our trauma, our traumatic bad experiences are about relationships with people that they don't know who they are, that there's no accountability, no responsibility. They mistreat you, say bad things, no emotional connection, all this crap. I'm describing our relationships we had and the interactions we have online with people, aren't I? Both. Crap. Number 15, know that your feelings are valid. Number one way, tell somebody. Be careful who you tell. I try to tell my family and they just blow me off and say, I don't understand, it's your fault. You're the one who kept doing this. That's not going to help. I say a couple words typically to most people that tell me about the most horrific experiences they've ever had in their life. I listen, and when they're done, I say, I'm sorry. Good place to start. A little validating. We need it. Like I said, you can heal by just talking. That's it. That's it. Number 16 is that it? I swear it said 17 ways, but there's 15. Interesting. Maybe it did say 15. What trauma therapy technique can help you overcome trauma? Deciding or dealing with a traumatic event in your past is not a walk in the park. It can take months and even years to heal from it. One thing that can help you deal with trauma is to adopt the suggestions that we listed above. However, we always recommend seeking professional help. Always, guys. Always, always, always. Always, always, always. You guys wouldn't go to a bike mechanic to fix your car. Right? Okay. Let's get into the questions. First one. That took a long time, huh? First one is Rory from Ohio. Hi, Rory. Today, it's been a year since my husband died. And I'm having every emotion except no tears. And Rory, again, I'm really sorry for your loss. I'm glad you're grieving. I hope you're feeling better. And it's okay to not have tears. You know, how many times have you cried? How many times have you had tears? It's okay. You're grieving, you're healing, right? Eventually, it won't bother you anymore, I'm sure. So happy I have everyone's support on here. Thanks, David, for being here and sharing this with me. You're welcome, Rory. As we become more emotionally mature, even death of a loved one doesn't have to hurt that much. Isn't that cool? Pretty cool. I'm sorry, Rory. Thanks for sharing that with us. I hope just that might make you feel a little better. Angela from Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada. Hi, Angela. I've made appointments for my two boys to see a therapist, but their covert dad, who's your ex, says that they're a waste of time and for weak people, so that he's really influencing your children, your two boys. You have a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old who now are hesitant at the least to go get help. For one, they have to. I don't know what that's going to look like at your house, but they're going to have to because mom says they do. And this might be age appropriate. That's up to you, mom. Please don't take this as I'm telling you. If you haven't already, this may be an appropriate time. This might be the appropriate age, 10 and 12, to start explaining to them how sick their dad is, how miserable his life is, the damage he's caused you, And the only way that mom is going to get better, because they might recognize that mom's not healthy, not happy, crying, something. The only way mommy's going to get better is by talking to somebody. The only way they're going to get better is by talking to somebody. So I hope that you're in therapy and you can start showing them by example how mommy's getting better. And maybe this therapist, maybe you, maybe somebody else they trust can start explaining to them how sick their dad is and the things he's done to you and the things he's going to do to them, and start helping them navigate. They need to start learning, kind of adopting who they are, a value system that I hope that sticks. And this is going to come from you, not him. They need better male role models. I'd find a male therapist. Someone they can look at and say, wow, this person cares more about me than my dad. There's many things you can do, mom. Be the healthiest, best mom you can be. Okay? So we aren't doing things just for the kids. I'm not going to sacrifice my social life for my kids, because then I'm teaching my kids not to have a social life. Do you see that? So mom's going to have a social life. Mom's going to be in talk therapy. And mom's going to start living a completely healthy life. And you're going to start being regular. And you're going to start having structure. And your boys, believe it or not, actually need it and want it. And they can go play and they can have ice cream, toys, and candy every day. Long enough, they'll get sick of it. That's usually what happens in this situation. Mom is stability. Mom is reliable. Mom offers me security, connection, attention. Dad doesn't. Good luck. I can't imagine how difficult it is. I don't know. I've seen it many times. But there is help, Angela, and this can get a whole hell of a lot easier for you, okay? Lawyer, I hope that you guys have some kind of legal agreement that you don't have to deal with this guy anymore, except only with the children. Only communication has to deal with the children. And live your life, Angela. There's only so much you're in control of. You can't keep them. You can't even legally keep him away from your children, so he's going to be doing this. And so the effects of these decisions the two of you have made together to have these boys under marriage, the effects of these decisions you might see for many more years, Angela. But you got to take care of you first, number one, okay? Then your children. And just know that not any childhood is perfect or normal. Some neglect is good and things like this. And hopefully they'll be okay. But they got to be in therapy, and that's mom's decision, not dad's. Okay? So they're going to go. Try and look at it that way. Good luck. I just can't imagine how awful it must be, how stressful it must be. But I promise you, I can tell where you're at a little bit, and it can get a lot easier. There's so many different techniques and things that you can do. Exodus Gaming. Don't know where you're from. The short question, you say, which is a couple pages long. I'd hate to see the long question. I'm going to try and shorten this up. When I was with my narcissistic, abusive father and grandfather and ex-narc, I felt so angry because of their abuse and emotional abuse that I saw images when she gave me a knife that if I wouldn't control myself, I might have stabbed her. But having this image and this feeling made me feel anxious and afraid of myself because I looked like I didn't control myself and just let it pass by. It would have happened without realizing it. So why do I feel like I wanted to hurt them, but at the same time afraid that I would or have these feelings or thoughts and can visualize this stuff, and why am I afraid of acting or if I don't control myself? Okay, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and claim I know, okay, or I'm just going to try to give you the most I can in a safe way. We all react differently to trauma. This sounds like you've been experiencing emotional trauma since you were a little baby, okay? So this is how you're reacting to it. The most important thing to understand is you're not getting away from it. This is prolonged exposure. You probably have disorders, stress disorders, who knows? No, I'm not diagnosing you. I'm just a freaking life coach. But you're asking me and I don't want to blow you off. You can't know who you are when someone's traumatizing you. Over time, especially. We ignore how we feel. It feels horrible and it doesn't stop. We aren't true to what we value because we can't be honest and respectful and kind, all these freaking things when somebody's doing this to us. You aren't getting anything you need. You aren't getting what you want. So you are totally, probably don't know who you are. And so this instability makes us impulsive. And impulsivity starts with thoughts first. And everybody has crazy impulsive thoughts. I want to stab them. I want to hurt them. Some of us think things like this, and it's okay. Okay? But then you start feeling it. You start thinking about doing it. And it scares you. It should. It should. The most dangerous police call, 911 call a police officer can make is to a domestic violence case. People that love each other that are fighting. So dangerous. So dangerous. This is dangerous. Dangerous. Yeah. And something bad might happen if you don't leave this situation. Get out. I can't explain it. I can't stress it enough. Leave. Get out of there. Don't say I can't. I'm guessing you're a grown adult. There's shelters. There's somebody that might help you. Get a job. Go move away. Run away. Check yourself in somewhere. I don't know. Get the hell out of there. This doesn't make you a bad person. Bad thoughts and bad feelings, stuff like this. You haven't done it. Don't be, I don't want to. We all have crazy thoughts, okay? And if we don't know who we are, those crazy thoughts kind of tend to take over. But children buy into thoughts. Oh, that must be who I am. No, it's not. And that's why when we know who we are, we have a crazy thought. Oh, that's fucking weird. That's stupid. And we have less and less, and then quieter and quieter. You don't know who you are, so your brain is really leading you right now, and that's scary. Because your brain cares about you surviving, and that's it. Doesn't care about how you feel about it. Doesn't care that you'll go to prison. Doesn't care about these things. Can't analyze this like this, and it just wants you to stop it. So stop it. And there's one way. Get out. Okay? And if you don't know how, ask for help and find out how. I hope this, and I'm not trying to scare you. You're already scared. I actually want to calm you down. You're okay. You're okay. I don't think you need to be so scared of you. You need to be scared of them. You can get out of it. Just get away from them. And you'll see that this will stop. I'm sure. I'm sure this will stop, these feelings and thoughts. I'm really sorry. You just need help. You need to talk to somebody, but you got to get rid of this stress, the source of the stress. Emma, my second question from last time was, I think we need to learn when and how it feels when the panic starts. So you're talking about when you feel an anxiety attack and then you're afraid of the panic attack. What do I do? Breathe. Lie down. That helps. Tell somebody. Okay? Eat something, drink something. Rub ourselves, touch ourselves, calm ourselves down. Understand what it is first and know that you're going to be okay. We don't die from panic attacks. That's this thing saying you're gonna. I truly believe most panic attacks are self-induced. It's our self-induced reaction to our anxiety, which we can't control anymore. So we are anxious, we worry, and then it sets us into panic. And then we think that we're going to fall on the floor, flop like a fish, and die. Stroke, heart attack. Yeah, I've heard it all. I know. Yeah, I hope that helps. Understand what it is, learn what it is, heal from the things that cause these things, from your initial traumas and past, and try to lie down. Calm yourself down. Tell yourself, no, you're going to be okay no matter what. Tell somebody, talk to somebody, eat something, drink something. This helps us bring us into now. Okay? I'm really sorry you're suffering, Emma. But get help from a doctor too, because maybe you have a disorder, anxiety disorder, panic disorder. Mandy. Oh, it cut you off. It says, I'm from, and it cut you off. I'm sorry. My friend who is 71 years old argued that her husband is not supposed to provide emotional support. They should only provide money. Men are not supposed to be sensitive to feelings. She asked, why am I so emotional? She never needed emotional support because she isn't sensitive like me. She accused me of being too emotional. What do you think about her opinions about men? Do you think older generation men are less sensitive to feelings? No, I don't. The last part, no. Here's what I wrote. Hi, Mandy. Thank you. Short answer. She is describing her father, but if she opened up about her childhood, you would see how neglected she was, and she may not see it at all because she's 71. She's lived a lonely, sad life. It's really sad. But hey, whatever terms we decide in our marriage and relationships, those the two people's terms. If she wants to have a marriage with no emotional support, that's fine. She can do whatever she wants. She says, I don't need to. She doesn't know herself, because that's one thing we know about all people is we all have emotional needs, and we do need emotional support. Everyone. So when she say that's like saying, oh, I don't need food. I don't need food. Why do you eat all the time? But why do you eat? If you don't need food, why do you? I just like it. I don't know who the hell I am. Duh. I don't need some emotional support. I'm 71. I've been married. I don't need emotional support. How's your marriage? She doesn't even know. She's been lying to herself for 50 years. Yeah. She's describing her father, and she married someone just like him. She never got help. She's like us, but never changed. Just said, screw it. And that's just really cold things to say to people. Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so emotional? I don't know what you fucking want to find out. What's hurting you? What's bothering you? What is it? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What is this about? Why are you so emotional? I bet I could make her emotional if I wanted. I bet I could make her very emotional, and I could do it sitting here very calmly. And then when she's all emotional, why are you so emotional? It's insensitive. And she has to be that way to survive 71 years of total neglect and misery. She has to be insensitive. I wouldn't want someone like this around me. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. I found that I spent a lot of time lost in an imaginary world when I was on the farm, and everything was very stressful. Is it normal? I tend to do it less and less, and it's also less intense. Good. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing you. It sounds like you're describing dissociating, and daydreaming and stuff like this are kind of dissociating. There's different degrees and limits and types, and we might be outside of our body and see ourselves. We might look out the window and see, it might look fake like a movie or a cartoon. We might feel like we're floating, the walls caving in on us, the ceiling coming, all kinds of different things, and even daydreaming. But your reaction to trauma is your reaction, Emily. And I just, dissociating it's not a bad thing. It's actually a safe. It's safe. Dissociating is safe. Totally safe. It's a safety mechanism we use to keep ourselves safe. It's why we sometimes black out during trauma. So it's our reaction to trauma, and it's okay and it's safe. The problem is how much we're dissociating, right? I've known people that dissociate 100% of the time, all the time, all day, 60%, 90% of their day. And geez, that's where you're going to have a lot more other problems. But you're young, Emily. This is your reaction to trauma, I'm guessing, if you are dissociating, in fact, if that's what you're doing. This will get better and less intense because you're off the farm, away from the source of the stress. So it is going to get better. But you may, if this is dissociating, you may have a dissociative disorder. Okay? So always talk to a doctor about this. Ask them about this. I wrote that in my answer to you. This can eventually lead to a dissociative disorder if not properly treated. Okay? But we need to get rid of the source. That's going to help big time. But you're okay. You're okay, Emily. Thank you. Emily again, why do narcissistic people want to control you? Because they can't control themselves. They can't do things for themselves. They can't give themselves what they want, what they need. They can't self-soothe, take care of themselves. Their life is completely unmanageable and completely out of control, and they don't know what to do it, so they try to control outside environment. No, that has to be like this, and that has to be like that, and you need to always do this and do that, instead of just help myself. Imagine if I was obsessive compulsive disorder. Imagine if I had obsessive compulsive disorder. And I can go around and tell people, no, you can't do that. That triggers me if you switch a light like this, and the light's got to be off at this time, and you always have to do this and do 3 times like this and clean this. This always has to be clean. And everybody can do it for me and try, or I can just look inside and fix it myself. That's why. We don't even tell people what to do. The people that tell people what to do are codependent. They're saying what they want you to do from me. Not what I would do. No, I think you should do this because we're like Same person. I feel like this, you need to do that. See that? I feel sad, so you should start doing this. That's why. Thanks, Emily. And, nope, thought that was it. Whoopi, what do you think about the Tinder swindler, Cecilia, who is being defrauded for $250,000 and went right back onto Tinder immediately and says she'll be forever finding love on Tinder? Well, sounds like, here's what I wrote. Sounds like poor Cecilia suffers from mental illness and is not in control of her behaviors and lacks the self-awareness to change this on her own. Okay? I don't know what else to say. I don't know this story just from what you told me. Pretty sad. But I actually, that's the typical, you know, maybe not so extreme, but that's the typical behaviors and thought patterns and stuff that I see from most of my clients and most people like you watching videos. I need to find somebody else. I need to find the right person. I need to find the right person. I need to find the right person. You know, just never stop. God. Sometimes I can't get clients to even go, can you go a week without dating somebody? God, you just had somebody hold you out a freaking window about to kill you. It says they love you and you love them. You're telling me you love them. Can you just wait a second to not date somebody? Nope, not a date. I mean, I went dating anyways. Went back on Tinder. I went back. I mean, this is an extreme case, but more than half of you guys are like that. I bet. That's what I've experienced. Monica, I can't remember where you're from. Sorry, Monica. Why did my narc treat me like crap, but online he says no one loves him? So he's playing the victim, which means he's been victimized and not healed. Period. Period. If I'm a victim, someone hurt me. Even if someone didn't hurt me, I can say, well, the way they turned around, it hurt me and I'm a victim. And if I'm going to bring it up and talk about it, and poor me, I'm not healed from it. So what that means is I don't know how. I don't know how to take care of myself. And so I'm online saying, poor me, help me, do it for me. Nobody loves me. Nobody loves me, including himself. That's nobody, right? If he loved himself, I love myself. And I could have no one in my life right now, and it would be sad, and it would be lonely maybe. But I'm not going to say nobody loves me. I do. I love myself, and therefore I'm lovable. And people will love me. People do love me. But when people didn't love me, I said that nobody loves me, including me. Just didn't know that. Yeah, this guy's pretty pathetic. It's one of the most pathetic things to see in life, man. The poor me victim playing status is just sick. It's disgusting. It is. I'm not saying keeping quiet is any better. Just, Jesus, do something about it. My God. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you. I hope I answered all your questions. If I missed any, please tell me. I'm sorry. If you didn't understand me, if I misunderstood your question, just keep asking. Let me know what you think of my answers. Let's have a little dialogue here. Everybody share your stories down there. Great comments, great questions. I love that you guys all interact with each other. It's great. And keep the questions coming. Love yourself first. I'll see you guys next week.